The New Jersey Devils make some shocking moves to their lineup ahead of tonight's matchup with the Vancouver Canucks. Head coach Sheldon Keefe moving the lines around, as he always seems to do. Jacob Markstrom back in net, and a potential big night brewing for the Devils' Big Three. I'm Ryan the Goose Gosiker here on Devils Digest with you, as always, and I want to give you a chance before we get started to be one of our first subscribers here to the channel. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and we'll get right into the show. Now, the Devils coming into tonight's matchup with the Vancouver Canucks have to get going. They need to get the engines going a little bit quicker than what they are right now. Again, ever since they were up 3-1 against Calgary, this has looked like an AHL team. The Devils having lost 2 straight, 1 to Calgary and 1 to Ottawa on Saturday. Now, Vancouver comes in, again, they're not world beaters, okay? So Devils need to find a way to take care of business. We're going to break it all down here on the show. This has obviously serious playoff implications for New Jersey as they look to get back to the postseason for the first time in 2 years. Now, let's take a look at some of the lineup changes that head coach Sheldon Keefe has made, which is just becoming routine at this point. You just know 4 guys are kind of going to be moving around. And again, Amanda Stein does an excellent job. She's got the perfect handwriting for it, for all the lines and everything like that. Not a single line stayed the same from Saturday night. And you can see, Andre Palat back in the lineup, Justin Dowling back in the lineup, Kurtis Lazar out. Thanks for making potentially the Devils save of the year. You're out of the lineup. Daniel Sprong not doing much. Adios. See you later. The other big one is Nate Bastian's no longer in the lineup. Okay, now he's a guy that we've talked about ad nauseum of, hey man, at some point he's got to do something. And well, he's not doing nothing. So the Devils have found a way to get him out of the lineup tonight. You see that fourth line being Foote, Dowling, and Cotter. That will be an interesting group to keep in mind. What you're looking for is energy tonight. Now, head coach Sheldon Keefe said he can really feel the absence of Andre Palat when he wasn't there, especially Saturday. And I forget if he was there for Calgary. I think he might have missed the Calgary game too. I don't know what Sheldon Keefe's looking at. I don't notice a difference. I don't notice the absence of Andre Palat. But again, you kind of have to trust these coaches a little bit more sometimes, considering they are where they are, right? I mean, some of them probably get in because of nepotism, but for the most part, these guys know what they're doing, know what they're talking about. So I don't see it from up where I'm sitting, but that's, again, why I'm sitting up there and Sheldon Keefe is down on the ice in a suit, right? So, but you could see some of his reasoning here. To me, it's leadership. Right, when Palat speaks, guys listen. Like, that's a huge component of things, especially with Jack not there, Dougie not there, Jonas not there, all guys that younger Devils look up to in how to play, how to act, how to carry themselves. So it's I'll take Sheldon Keefe at his word. Okay, I won't argue too much with him. Just moving on, a couple notes for tonight. The Devils will face Thatcher Demko of the Canucks. Now, that's an interesting component of it. Obviously, the Peterson news and Hoglander news are interesting. We'll see if they play, maybe their game time decisions, stuff like that. But the Devils kind of preparing for them anyway. But Demko is interesting because let's look at his last 5 games, and if you notice something, this stat is correct. He has not played since February 8th. Okay, so it's been well over a month. You're almost looking at 6 weeks at this point since he last played. And he left that game early, as you can kind of tell. There's no decision there. So this is an interesting decision for the Canucks, who come off that 5-3 loss to the Rangers, where the Rangers really only had 11 or 12 shots on goal, and yet still found a way to bury 5 in the back of the net. So they need a spark. Is Demko the answer? That's a great question. You have to ask our Canuck crew, our Canuck digest, if you will. But if you're the Devils, this is a recipe to get shut out tonight. I have to tell you. Listen, I love the Devils. I'm rooting for the Devils. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The jersey's hanging up right now, just getting it ready. I'll be there at Prudential Center. But the Devils, for whatever reason, whenever it seems like, and I'm a Met fan too, so this happens all the time, when you it just seems like, oh, look, they're facing a backup. They're facing this. They're facing, a guy whose ERA is 7 or a guy whose save percentage is .840 in his last 6 games. Guess what he's likely going to do? He's likely going to pitch a shutout. So we'll see. I don't expect a shutout on Demko, but you understand my point. I expect him to play well in his return despite what would be a perfect spot for him to be a little bit rusty. So we'll see. We'll have to monitor it as the game goes, but certainly interesting for the Devils. As I mentioned in the open and in the hook, one of the guys the Devils need to get going is Jacob Markstrom. You could see his save percentages here. That's not good enough. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. I actually don't even really care if he was making Jake Allen money. This isn't acceptable. Devils trade a first-round pick for this guy. He makes a lot of money, okay? Not an exceeding amount of money, not obviously Igor money, but he makes a good chunk of change. This is unacceptable. And the fact that we're sitting here right now basically just, flipping a coin up in the air as to who should start each game is a problem. Jacob Markstrom needs to find a way to be better, get better, and be better for his Devils team as they have tried to help him as much as possible. They got to get going. So not only the Devils got to play a full 60-minute game. The last couple games, they've been playing 40-minute games. Somebody would like to tell Sheldon Keefe, when he's not calling out Johnathan Kovacevic, maybe tell your team that there's 60 minutes in a game and not 40. I don't know, maybe. Just a thought, random thought. The other is wake up Jacob Markstrom. This guy, so the Devils got to play a complete game, forwards, defense. But Jacob Markstrom's got to wake up. This is unacceptable. I mean, you see that game at Pittsburgh with a 739 save percentage. Come on, man. Like, you got to... We could go back in the archives of emergency backup goalies that probably have a better save percentage in a game than that. I know it's one game, small sample size, but he's got it. You understand the point. He's got to be better for this team if they have any hope of getting to where they want to go, getting to where their ceiling is, which I've said is making a little bit of noise in round one, potentially an upset in round one, but I don't think this team has much more than that just based on their offensive firepower. Now, speaking on their offensive firepower, they need their big three to get going. And not get going, I apologize, that's the wrong word. Continue to go, okay? And it's got to be led by this guy, their captain, Nico Hischier, who just scored his 30th goal on Saturday night. Congratulations to him. I think the guy still has another level to get to. But between him, Jesper Bratt, and Timo Meier, they have to continue to lead this team. You have to be... I hate to say this because I don't often suggest athletes be selfish. But at times you need to be. Jesper Bratt, you get an open shot in the slot, you got to take it, okay? Same thing with Timo Meier. Timo, you're on the rush, you get a 2-on-1, you get that pass, you got to shoot it. Stop trying to get empty net, perfect practice shot goals. Sometimes you got to rifle one, just like Nico did on the power play the other night, okay? That's the Devils' key to success. They need to, first of all, remember that the game is 60 minutes and not 40. They need better goaltending out of Jacob Markstrom. And they need their big three to be a big three tonight in order for them to be successful. And we'll see if the line changes can help. Because I mentioned it on Saturday in the postgame. The problem is the Devils are playing with 2.5 lines worth of forwards that you can actually legitimately play good minutes. That's unacceptable. You're going to wear down your top guys that way. Hopefully we'll see what the effort looks like tonight without Bastian in the lineup. Let's see. Bastian, obviously, Lazar, and Sprong out of the lineup. Let's see what they look like tonight against the Canucks. I'll be there at Prudential Center rooting on the Devils. Thank you for tuning in, listening, and watching, whatever you may be doing with this content. We appreciate it here on Devils Digest. I just want to urge you to, first of all, go subscribe. Be one of our first subscribers to the channel. But also leave us a comment. What do you think? What's been the Devils' rut? What is stuck in the engine with this team right now that they need to fix in order to get, not only lock themselves into a playoff spot, but be respectable in the playoffs, potentially contend with Carolina in round one? Leave us a comment. Let me know what you think. And I hope everybody has a great day. If you're going out to the game, be safe, travel safe, okay? A lot of traffic always, so just be careful, okay? Drive safe. And we will talk to you next time on Devils Digest.